Simon Ekpa wouldn't have been lasted this long in jail. Let me put it jail. Though Finland did not jail him. The kind of restriction given to him is over protracted. We did not expect it to be, protracted, overstretched. That's why it began to look as if Finland has actually sold out. I repeat it again. It began to look as if Finland has actually sold out by the kind of restriction, given to Simon Ekpa. So overstretched, so over protracted. Because Simon Ekpa is supposed to have come out, become a free man by now. And you see, by delaying, restricting Simon Ekpa, many actually died in the southeastern Nigeria of Fulani herdsmen terrorism. They had upper hand because Simon Ekpa was is no longer operating, defending his father's land. So, what Ohabeze has come out to say, I read meaning in it. I was asking myself, is this the same Finland that actually supported the Bifra I know in 1966, 67, 68 to 1970? Has Finland not begun to sell out, accepting bribe, crude oil for bribe, natural gas for bribe? Of course, all these resources are from southeastern Nigeria. Tinubu, who comes from southwest, wouldn't have done that. The Yoruba I know wouldn't have allowed their oil, their gas, natural gas, to be used as a bait against their citizens. Biafran citizens, Finland and other European countries collecting bribe, crude oil for bribe, natural gas for bribe, allowing killings, genocide committed going on in Igbo land. Yoruba land cannot allow that. Hausa land cannot allow it. But because Igbos were oppressed, persecuted, and over marginalized, they are using our natural resources to bribe the white man, the West, to at least oppress, unalive, delay, and pie, and even castrate the same Igbo people. Simon Ekpa has overstayed in incarceration in Finland. I think that Finland has actually sold out by collecting our natural gas, our crude oil, and turn against us. I don't see what is right again aligning with Finland. Finland has actually failed in their own international duty over Biafra emancipation. They have duty, they have responsibility to play, and they have failed this time. I think they have actually mingled or joined forces with Tinubu government oppressing the same Igbo people, Biafran people. I'm telling you, oil and gas for settlement or bribe, Finland has actually deviated. Ngozi could not have been so wrong or misquoted on what allegation she's coming out very lately. She is right. I think America should investigate Finland. Finland has sold out.
I believe they told the American government that I am a terrorist and they needed that investigation. But guess what? America told Finland to go to hell.
Yes.
America told Finland to go to hell. You have no clue what you are talking about. How can you leave the Nigerian terrorist state? President Tinubu, that is a real terrorist, and you are trying to label people like us as terrorists. They tried, I'm telling you, Finland approached America, but they failed woefully. Woefully, because America is a country that is built on the rights of the citizens. But you signed under the United Nations, under the European Union, to make the world a better place. You signed to report human rights abuses to the European Union Human Rights Commission. Finland, have you done that? As we speak today, all the several emails Biafra sent to you about the killings, about the human rights abuses, it is on the table of the Finland criminal police department bureau. You have all those reports. What have you done with them? We are going to see how this game is going to end. Since you've decided to collude with the Nigerian state, we have taken this case to the appropriate quarters, Biafrans and the international world, and we will see how this is going to end. We also want to use this opportunity to remember our Prime Minister, His Excellency Simon Ekpa. We are waiting to hear what Finland is going to come up with. Like we all know, they said they finished the investigation. investigation that is wrought with deceit and with transnational repression, investigation that is wrought with lies, investigation that is wrought with injustice. Again, it's just based on the little information they've released. According to them, they will now hand over their investigation to maybe another department, the Justice Department of Finland, that can now come up with any indictment if there is any. But from the information they've released so far, we know that Finland has done a very bad job, injustice to self-determination and the self-defense of the innocent indigenous Biafrans and other indigenous Nigerians. It is obvious that all the human rights abuses and all the injustices that have been reported to Finland, they neglected that. They've neglected that to, according to them, investigate a wide range of terrorist group. We are the terrorist group that Finland is referring to, nobody else. So if Finland could succumb to what Nigeria, the terrorist state, as of yesterday, today, the Nigerian government has killed 4 innocent children in, I think it's either Oru State or one of our Biafra states, in the Biafra territory. Nigeria is the terrorist, not we, not Biafran. So Finland, you need to get that clear first. You need to know who is committing the act of terrorism. As of today, the Nigerian state, headed by Tinubu and Christopher Musa, continues to unleash act of terrorism against innocent Biafrans. They killed 4 innocent children today in Biafra land. Finland, that is terrorism. Right there. That is terrorism. If you do not know what terrorism means, Nigeria is a terrorist state. So when Finland neglects the terrorist state of Nigeria and labels innocent Biafrans a terrorist group, who told Finland that indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, who told Finland that we are terrorists? Who gave that labeling? Because they said it. So is it Nigerian terrorist states, Tinubu, Christopher Musa, Bianca Ojukwu that reported, Tinubu that reported to you, Finland, that we, IPOB, that we are terrorists? Then you believe them, right? You believed the lies perpetrated by the Nigerian state because you want to enjoy economic gain from Nigeria. You want to milk that oil that comes from Biafra land. And based on that, you've joined the terrorist state of Defense Chief Christopher Musa of Nigeria to label Biafrans as terrorists, right? We are waiting for the indictments that you, Finland, is going to come up with. Biafra, we are a sovereign nation, and we are waiting for that. We are waiting to see how this game will end between Finland, Nigeria, and the United States of Biafra. According to the Finland Criminal Police Bureau Department, they went on this nationwide investigation, both in Nigeria and everywhere. I don't even know, everywhere, possibly America. I believe they told the American government that I am a terrorist, and they needed that investigation. But guess what? America told Finland to go to hell.
Yes.
America told Finland to go to hell. You have no clue what you are talking about. How can you leave the Nigerian terrorist state, President Tinubu, that is the real terrorist, and you are trying to label people like us as terrorists? They tried. I'm telling you, Finland approached America, but they failed woefully. Woefully, because America is a country that is built on the rights of the citizens. They know what being independent means. They know what self-determination means. They will know what self-defense means. So when Finland came with that globalist agenda, they are operating in Europe with Netherlands, with Norway. America told them to go to hell. That is why they could not proceed with their lives. with their fake investigation in America. But did they try? Yes, they did. Did they inform American FBI? Yes, they did. I know they did. So we are waiting. We are waiting for. We are waiting to see how it's going to end up. How our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, who is defending our land, defending people from this Nigerian terrorist state, we are waiting to see how Finland is going to label our Prime Minister a terrorist person, a terrorist sponsor. They've already labeled some innocent Biafrans as terrorist financiers. Remember, Finland arrested 4 innocent Biafrans alongside our Prime Minister. And according to them, they investigated. We have all the questions they asked these innocent individuals, innocent Biafrans. Finland labeled them terrorist financiers just because they do not want to cohabit in a country with people with reintegrated terrorists. Biafrans do not want to live with Nigeria that reintegrates and rehabilitates non-terrorists into the country. Hire them into the military, into the police, give them AK-47, send them to southeast, southwest, all parts of Nigeria to kill innocent and indigenous Christians. That is what Nigeria do today as we speak. That is why Finland colluded and tried to label innocent Biafrans as terrorist financiers just because of what you and I do today. Raising money to build our new nation, Biafra. Raising money to defend our people from the terrorist state of Nigeria that today has killed 4 innocent children in Biafra land. I believe that information is already on the table of the Finland Criminal Police Department. Biafrans, make sure we send it to them. So, who is the terrorist? That is the question. I want every international community, international leader to ask Finland, who is the terrorist? Is it Nigerian state that have been labeled as the most dangerous country for Christians to live in? And you think that just happened? No, it didn't just happen. Nigeria, President Tinubu, Christopher Musa, we are part of this. They facilitated the reintegration of terrorists into Nigeria. That is why today Nigeria has been labeled as the most dangerous country in the world for Christians to exist. So Finland, didn't you read that? Are you not aware of this? Who is the terrorist? Is this the Nigerian state? You should be ashamed of yourself to even attempt to label us terrorists, and you allow Nigeria and their government that is the terrorist people to go free. Finland, you should label Nigeria a terrorist state because you have the reports, all the human rights abuses. You have it on your table. Alexander Stubb. You have those reports on your table. Apart from our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa making those formal reports to you of those human rights abuses, those killings, those reintegration of terrorists into the Nigerian state, which is a policy of the Nigerian state. You have it on your table. How do you make the world a better place? When you leave the terrorists and you are going after innocent indigenous Biafrans, indigenous Christians in Nigeria, you are labeling terrorists. Because you want to milk the honey, the oil from the Biafra state. You want to have economic collaboration with Nigerian terrorist state. That is why you've lost your conscience. Your integrity is at stake at this point. Finland, under Alexander Stubb, whatever your name is, your integrity is at stake. Because you are fully aware of the criminal. You are fully aware of the terrorists. You are fully aware of who is committing the crime. But you turn a blind eye because you want to sign economic partnership with Nigeria. Nothing else. That is it. But you signed under the United Nations, under the European Union to make the world a better place. You signed to report human rights abuses to the European Union Human Rights Commission. Finland, have you done that? As we speak today, all the several emails Biafra sent to you about the killings, about the human rights abuses, it is on the table of the Finland criminal police department bureau. You have all those reports. What have you done with them? We are going to see how this game is going to end. Since you've decided to collude with the Nigerian state, we have taken this case to the appropriate quarters, Biafrans and the international world, and we will see how this is going to end. I want to also use this to remember our Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu, who is going through almost the same thing. The same in the Nigeria DSS dungeon. The same thing. They just ask to let their people go. Let their people be free. Let their people live in a country where they do not have reintegrated terrorists, because such a country can never move forward. Such a country cannot progress. The people in such a country can never attain the highest level, the God-given strength they have. They cannot develop because the terrorists will continue to strike. The terrorists will continue to take over their homes, destroy their farmlands, kill them and harvest their organs. That is all that Nnamdi Kanu have said. And Nigeria plotted and planned with the Kenyan government, kidnapped him in Kenya and brought him to Nigeria. So where is the justice? Where is the peace? And you think you will go free after doing all this? And you think the world will be a better place? No! Violence begets violence. When you engage in act of terrorism by kidnapping Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya, bundled him to Nigeria without going through the due process of extraditing a British citizen from Kenya to Nigeria. When you don't go through that process, that means you have made the world a bad place, a very dangerous place. That's what Nigeria has promoted. That is what Kenya has promoted, and that's exactly what Finland is promoting at this time. And you think if you take away Nnamdi Kanu, and you think if you take away Simon Ekpa, you will stop the independence of the United States of Bifra. You failed, because United States of Bifra is now an independent state. We declared our independence in Finland on November the 29th, 2024. It is in the world history. Nobody can stop that. We are a free nation, and we will continue to engage in activities that make us a sovereign state. Nobody can stop that. We have the 40 states of the United States of Biafra. We have the Biafran army. We have the Biafran generals. We have the executives of the 40 states, 15 counties in every state, with the wards and the districts. These individuals must continue to protect the sovereignty of the United States of Bifra. It is our right to do that. It is their right to do that. So taking away Nnamdi Kanu and taking away Simon Ekpa and labeling a whole people, the indigenous people of Biafra, labeling them as terrorists, which was done by the criminal Nigerian state. And you think that will stop what we do? No way. No. The earlier you let Nnamdi Kanu go, leave him alone. Leave Simon Ekpa alone. Allow us to build our new nation. Allow us to build one of the best and one of the freest countries in the world, in Africa, United States of Biafra. Allow us to develop at our fullest God-given potential. You must allow us to do that. You have no choice than to allow us to do that. We have the right to do that. We have the right to self-determination. We have the right to choose our leaders, which over 50 million Biafrans have done through a self-referendum conducted both online and in homeland. We voted, and 99.9% of that voted to exit Nigeria. That is exactly what we have done. There is nothing you can do about that. I promise you. I promise you that. The earlier you leave us to build our nation, the better. The earlier you leave Nnamdi Kanu alone, the better. The earlier you leave our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa alone, the better. This battle, you will never win it. Currently, Nigeria is occupying a foreign land, and that is a terrorist act on its own. They've killed 4 innocent children today, or just yesterday, with their helicopters. President Tinubu and Christopher Musa instructed them to kill those innocent children in Biafra territory. That is a terrorist act. We must defend our people. Again, thank you, Biafrans. And on that note, Famdi, you can take over from here.
Thank you. We're just right on track. Thank you. And then happy Mother's Day to you and all the mothers in the house and all the mothers in Biafra land and all the mothers in the whole world.
Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers and fathers that also act as mothers. Happy Mother's Day to you all.
Well, why do you think that Finland want to do this, number one? And number two, do you think that the US government can really do what Finland did to Simon Ekpa? Do you think that US can do that to Ngozi by arresting?
No. The United States of America can never do such. If you look at Ohabeze is a very plain woman. She's the current Biafra minister in exile. I think Trump will never ever descend so low. Actually, Ohabeze, Nnamdi Kanu, Simon Ekpa, and other diaspora Biafrans join forces together and campaign for Donald Trump's victory so far. Africans that voted for him, 50% of those Africans are Igbos, if not 60. Igbos are many in the United States. Most of the Igbo slaves that were left behind during the Booker T. Washington, free of slavery in America, 60% are Igbos. Joined together with the Igbos that just went into the United States in search of greener pasture. We are the one that gave Donald Trump most of the black votes. So what I'm trying to say is that I don't see Trump descending so low. It can never come down, stoop so low. Like Trump cannot do that. Ohabeze is having upper hand, complaining rightly in the right time of where Finland is not getting it right. I think Trump would have at least understood that Ohabeze has nothing to do with terrorism in Nigeria. Terrorism in Nigeria is orchestrated by Fulani Janjaweeds in the north. They are the ones that are inviting their Fulani brothers all over Sahel countries of Africa to fight Nigerians, the farmers. I don't understand. And the people in the township. They are coming, they said it, they are coming to Islamize Nigeria with their weapon. I don't see Trump, at least, going against Ngozi Ohabeze or Simon Ekpa. Even Nnamdi Kanu, America is agitating strongly for release of that young man. He's innocent. Kanu has nothing to do with terrorism. Fulani, they are the one killing and crying farmers across Nigeria. They are the one trying to Islamize everybody to become Muslim. Is it by force? People can never be forced onto religion that they don't know about. I am a Christian, you are a Muslim. Be a Muslim in your country on the north. Don't come to southeastern Nigeria, Manibo. I can never be a Muslim. So the Fulanis are guilty. They are the Janjaweeds. And the Americans can never stoop so low by at least tagging Ohabeze and Ngozi as a terrorist. No, Igbo man can never. We are not. Yes, be a terrorist.
Okay, and the Fulani, they finally demand apology from Nnamdi Kanu before the next court sitting. It was viral on social media. They said Nnamdi Kanu must apologize for the death of Ahmed Gulag. They said he must come out publicly in the court to declare.
Fulani are always noise makers. They are the political criminals we have in Nigeria. Their Hausa counterpart in the north, the Hausas have gone against the Fulanis. The Fulanis are the criminals we have in Nigeria. Nnamdi Kanu will never, ever come out and apologize to any nonsense Janjaweeds in Nigeria. The Fulanis should right now leave Nigeria and go to the desert where they belong. They belong to Burkina Faso, they belong to Senegal, they belong to Mali. They are all over Niger. Burkina Faso has actually sent them away. They should go back to Chad or Sudan. Igbo man is free. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not apologizing to anybody. Kanu is innocent. Fulanis are guilty of bloodletting across Nigerian farmland. They are feeding their animals on people's crop, and it can never, ever be developed or resulted to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu apologizing to anybody. No, it can never be. It
can never be.
Yes.
Okay. For what we know, do you think that the former president Buhari instructed Tinubu, number one, not to release him? Because left for some people on social media, they said if it was in Tinubu's power, he would have released Nnamdi Kanu. But it's as if the Fulanis and the Buhari, the ex-president cabinet, are the one still holding him, captive.
Okay, you're right. The Fulani, Buhari, and the Tinubu, in conjunction, that's two of them, are the power being, not to be, the power being that is holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Why? Kanu won in the court 2 times during Buhari regime. 2, Tinubu regime, Kanu won once. The second time in the court now is about releasing him. Fulani is swearing that Kanu will come and confess. They are noisemakers. They are making noise. They think that they're the owner of this country. They might not own this country, but they don't own Igbo land. They are making noise. If it matters most, are you listening to me? They will close their dirty mouths one by one. We have expected Fulani in the past to go back to Sahel where they come from. There is fire in the Sahel now, because actually the whole Africa, the whole ECOWAS understand that Fulanis are trying to Islamize everywhere in Africa. Fire is burning them. Kanu will never, ever tender any apology. He has not committed any crime. The Fulani headers, the Gumi, the Badijo, the chairman of this Meti Allah, Buhari himself, Modu Cherif, Gumi Mamu, Chekanau, the whole Fulani herdsmen should come out to tender apology before the Igbos, before the Domas, before the Angas, the tribes in Plateau State. The criminals we have, bloody one, are the Fulanis in Nigeria. If they keep on saying that, expecting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to apologize to them, they are making the greatest, the worst mistakes of their life. It can never be. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu can never apologize to anybody. It is not done anywhere in the world. Someone that has not committed crime to fighting freedom, he will apologize to somebody that is a stranger. Someone that just come in as a stranger in Nigeria. Then the owners of the land will apologize to him. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not an Hausa man, he's an Igbo man. We live in the southeast Guinea. Fulani can never displace us in the southeast. Britain did not succeed on doing that for 60 years. Let alone these Janjaweeds that are malingering, wandering from bush to bush. It is impossible. Mazi Nnamdi can never apologize to anybody. Naked lies.
Okay.